Yo, 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 what up, what up, what up? One sec. Oops, let's see. Yo, 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 what up, y'all, what up? All right, give me 1 second, y'all. I'm gonna post this in the Discord real quick. Discord announcements. Add everyone. All right, we are live and direct. Yeah, this thing is moving up though. We missed this move earlier. This was the buys earlier. If you guys were watching this chart earlier, that was definitely the buys. All right, I got everything set up. Channel. Yo, we got 5 people watching. I appreciate you guys for watching. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Oh, fluidity first. Yo, Ryan. Kill Kenny. Kill Kenny's in the house. Let's go. All right, I just finished setting up all my mod hacks. You know, all the good stuff. Hey, Krish. What up, bro? What up? What up? Appreciate you guys for joining. But yeah, like I was saying though, is that you guys could see this was definitely the move right here. This was it. So what I'm thinking is gonna at least happen is we're gonna at least come up to this top. We're gonna fill in this wick right here. This is on the 15 minutes, so I do think we'll at least fill in this wick. We'll come up here at least, maybe go above it and then come back, but I do see us at least hitting this wick, because this will be the range right here that we're in. So, you know, once we hit here, we might need to touch the bottom, but we'll see. We are super bullish right now though. I think this was all of that stuff that was building up. Like, as you can see, everything right here, all of this right here was just building up to pretty much go in a direction. So as you can also see down here, we did sweep these lows and then we broke these highs. So it's kind of like, yeah, that was pretty much the move that's happening. So that's why I think this is so bullish right now. This was all just building up pressure. This was just building up, grab liquidity, right here, retest, boom, retest, boom. Yeah, this stuff was just moving though, moving. All right, I guess what we're gonna try to do is try to find a target. Let's try to find a target. Damn, this thing got no bottom wick. Look at this 4 hour, got no bottom wick. And they usually say when it doesn't fluidity, we bullish for the next week too. Damn, bro's going crazy with that prediction. So we got this high up here. So there's two highs, obviously. There's the high of this candle right here that we already made, and then there's this previous high up here. So let's see what, or actually let me look up from down here. Let me see how this is looking from right here. It's from the monthly. Let me go down from the monthly all the way down. Let me see how many people we got watching. Let's see how many people we got watching. If we got 10 people watch, oh, we got 9 people watching. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Yeah, I appreciate you guys for watching though. Yeah, so what I'm gonna do, just do it kind of like an analysis from the monthly and go work my way down. Just try to find something. All right. So from the monthly, what do I kind of see on the monthly? Obviously, we broke above, did all this, broke above, closed above. We made wicks up here. So what I noticed though is up here on the monthly, these candles up here, this becomes a range, this becomes a candle that closes inside of this range, and then now this is also the range right here. So and then there's also the bottom of this range. So there's two areas that we're going to need to watch out for. We either need to touch the top of here, or we need to touch the bottom of here, or the bottom of here. Obviously there's only two options, either to go up or down, but just the idea though is to try to figure out which one of these will be the target. You got to find the target, and once you have a target, then you can start looking for things that are going in the opposite direction to go towards your target. So if your target is down here, then you want to start looking for things that are going to be pulling back, so it could start going towards your targets and stuff. But like I'm saying though, is that this candle right here closed above this candle. I mean, it wicked above, and then it closed back inside of the range right here. So usually what that says to me is that we close back inside of this range right here. So there's two things that need to happen. We touch the top, we might need to touch the bottom. So if this ends up flipping on the monthly, then that means we could possibly start targeting these bottom areas. But we are super bullish though, which is also the thing. So we did already touch the 50 mark, but we closed underneath it. So what I'm thinking though, so yeah, look, so it closed inside the range, wick above, lower prices. So when this usually says wick below, lower prices, I mean wick above, lower prices, technically we should be looking at lower prices at some point. So maybe with this pulling up was just to pull up just so it could come down, because at some point we might need to make lower prices, which is kind of going to give us the more of the idea that if we already close below this 50% area, at some point we're on the top right here, so we should probably be looking for sales to start targeting this bottom half right here. So that being the monthly right there. So we're gonna just go down to the weekly now. Let's see what the weekly has. The weekly, and that's the highs of the weekly also. So pretty much what I see on the weekly is we do have a high here. We have a high here, and we I guess you could say this is the range too, because that is the range of this candle right here. So if that's the range of that candle, look what happened right here at the bottom of this candle right here. Ryan could kill Kenny could see this right here. He's in the chat right now. He sees what I see right here. When you see this right here, look, this candle wick down here, wick below, then it closed back inside of the range. So that's what that created right there. So if this ends up becoming the range, that's what this was, to grab the bottom of this range. Now we needed to target the top of the range, which is it did. Boom, targeted the top of the range. Now then we came back down here and we targeted the bottom of the range. We're starting to turn around, but one difference that I noticed just from looking at this right now is that at the top of this area, like what Ryan Kilkenny, what we talk about this being like the range and stuff, right? And how this one needs to wick below this one to pretty much do the orders so it could go back up. That's what this one did. Look, close right here, and then this one wicked above to come back down. What I see right here though is a close below, and then this one didn't wick below, it stayed above it. Let me draw a line right here. So like this candle, what we would usually be looking for is something like that, and then it start to push up like that, which would usually say, okay, this is the one that usually needs to that does it kind of like this, that might need to target the top of the range. So what this could possibly be telling me is that it might not be the full one that goes all the way back to the top. And this is on the weekly though, so it's obviously gonna take some time, but then this thing is kind of moving though. But yeah, so that's kind of what I see right here. So yeah, if this was the low right here, which is this bottom candle, it technically didn't tap that bottom. So that won't be like the same idea as this right here, breaking this low, closing back inside of it, then targeting the top. So, but this actually does kind of form the 42 idea, which will be the inside bar, the third candle, and whichever way this third candle breaks is usually going to signal the direction that we probably could start targeting, which will be the targeting the top of this candle or the bottom of this candle. So if we break the low, then we'll be targeting the bottom to come back up. If we break the high up here, then we're going to most likely be targeting this high to maybe come back down. So yeah, that's just what I see right now so far. But damn, we're moving right now. Damn, I gotta hurry up. We're moving. It needs to break below. It needs to wick below for higher prices. Yeah, and look at this is the whole range right here of this candle up here. Boom, and boom. So we're inside of this whole range right here, and we're moving right now. Let me hold on. Let me see right quick. Look at, damn, we're moving. There it goes. It's moving. That's what I was thinking about though. I was thinking that it needed to go back up a little bit. I did think it needed to fill in that wick at least. I don't know how. I was just thinking the same thing. Looks like a 42. Yeah, exactly. And then yeah, look at like this one. Kill Kenny when I was talking about it. The one that needed to fill in that wick, it ended up filling in the wick and then pushing above it. And then we also closed above it. Look, closed above right here, boom. But now I'm wondering, is this the one that starts to close back inside the range, which would be right here? So could that be the one right there? Look, that might have been the, no, I don't see it happening yet. That's just gonna come down. This is probably just gonna be a move to go back up. See, look, right here, the break of this low, and then the break of that low, we're going to target the previous low, which will be over here. So I do see us probably needing to come back down to this level right here. We're going to come back down to here, and then this is where I think we'll bounce at. Just because I don't see that this being the one that like comes back down into this range. It's not a fake out because we also had this candle close above. But let me see the higher price. I mean, I guess it still technically could be a fake out, but could be happening, could be happening. We'll see. On the hourly, it wicked above to pop down. It did. Okay, look, right here, look at this. Oh yeah, look, actually look at this. Check this out. Look, if this is the hourly range right here, boom, look, boom, boom. We wicked below, tapped up, got into to close back above here. Then we target the previous high, which is right here, previous high. We target that. Then we close above. Well, this one is on the 30, so look, we did close above. So I think this would be your entry right there. Look, watch 1 minute. Yeah, that would be it right there. So look, this is where I think it's gonna pop down at from here. It might need to pop down from these levels right here. It's going to need to pop down from this yellow line right here, I think. Around here, it's going to come back down after this. I think this could be the sell area. Yeah, because the way I see it kind of forming is everything is forming to let me know that. But I did say it needed to come here. So right here, actually, yeah, this is boom, boom, boom. Yeah, this is the area it's gonna get rejected from. I think it's gonna get rejected from this area. Or does it push up? We'll see right now. Boom. And damn, that is a bottom wick right there though. Crazy bottom wick. So maybe after this 15 closes, this 15 might need to close, and that might need to get broken above. So it might still go up, but we'll see right now. So what I do see though happening, if my calculations are correct, then it should do all of this because this is the idea. This would be the high right here, and then you target the previous high, which is right here, and then you close above and wick above. So all of this is exactly what we are looking for at some point, to at least maybe even come down to this 50% of this candle, which this would be your TP1, I believe, if you do take a trade in this area to take a sell. I do think it's going to come down. I do think it's coming down. Like I said, it did need to hit these levels. It did need to let me see right here. It's getting extended right here. So look, it's getting respected right here. So I'm just gonna see how this reacts right here at this level. This was kind of what I wanted to see. I didn't want to really see nothing up here like that, but it is closing below respecting. So we're gonna see how this other one closes below. So it got 10 seconds left. So let's see how it closes. 5 seconds. 3. All right, that closed above. Okay, so let's see. Closes above. Right there. All right, closed above. Yeah, so it's not respecting that really, I don't believe. That's why I'm saying though, is that this is why I'm thinking though, this hourly still has 48 minutes. So at any point, this 48 could still turn around and flip. That's on the hourly. Let's see the 4 hour. The 4 hour is still open. So let me see what this one looks. Yeah, no, because like I said, I do believe this is what's happening, is that it's going to need to most likely come back down into this range, at least probably to tap into this and then go up if it wants to. But it's going to need, I think, tap into these areas. So at some point, I think it's going to need to tap into these areas. See, because then even if this is the idea, it needs to wick above this level up here. It needs to wick above here, I think. So, well, technically, it would need to wick above the close above. So this would be the close above, that would be the wick above. And how we could have gotten that higher price up there, let me see something. Which is also the previous high, which is also right here. This is also the previous high. And it tapped that exact, that is it. That is the sell, I believe. I think it's from that level right there. It's going to be from this level. Okay, so nothing's closed below it, I don't believe. So nothing's closed below, above it. So you see how, look at, this is the level, I believe. Look guys, look, I think I found it. I think I might have found it. I don't know, we're gonna see how it reacts. But you see how nothing closed above this line right here? It needs to close above, then it needs to wick above, and then it needs to start coming down after that. And I think that's where it's gonna need to come down from. I think I might have just found it though. That's why I'm saying is that after everything I was just doing right now, that is what I finally came up with, is that. So it needs to do that. So I do believe it needs to come up. It's only 2 pips away. So we're going to have to see how it closes above. Then we're going to wait for a wick above and see how that starts to form right there. Yo, James, what up, bro? Forgot to check in on my main YouTube page and drop a like. I'm watching the stream on my laptop, though. Yes, for sure, James. I appreciate it, James. Appreciate it. Oh yeah, and that message you sent me on Instagram, I'm gonna send you something, and that way you could like also watch it. It's like a video and stuff. That way you could watch it and, you know what I mean, learn a little bit of stuff, little stuff that how I learned it, what I learned, the videos I learned from and stuff like that. All right, look guys, look. So look, this is the area where we're talking about. It needed to go up to this level. We already tapped it, we did, but the thing is we never closed above it though. That's what I'm saying. So I think at this point, if we were to take some kind of sell, I'm not taking anything yet. Damn, this is only 3 pips right there. I'm gonna take a sell right here. Oh, can I get in? Did it get me in? Damn, it got me in at My stop's gonna still stay right there. Let me see, where did it get me in at? It got me in at 41.4. 41.4. Okay, 41.4. Damn, way down here. 4. All right, right there. So my stops are 7 pips right there. At this point right here, damn, I wish I would have gotten in at this point right here. This would have been the area. All right, look, we're about 3 pips up right now. Okay, there it goes. Just because I got a bad entry, I'm gonna go to break even already, because I wanted to have this entry up here, and this was pretty much going to be my this low right here is going to be my like break even area. I kind of already went to break even, but that's where I was. Like I said, I'm gonna go break even right here at this low right here. Like I said, because I was trying to get in and my broker got me in pretty late. That's just exactly where I wanted to get in at. I was kind of looking at the setting it up and finding the price and stuff. So all right, we just tapped that break even area. So if we turn around, we're gonna turn around at this level. But let's see if it gets me out. See if we can hold it up. See if we can hold it up. I'm glad you get a better entry. Yeah, that was, yeah, my entry. If my entry would have been from up here, from the top, like right when this green candle closed, that's where I should have taken my sell. I should have taken it right there at that point. But if I would have taken it at that point, we would have already been up. Well, it still only would have been 9-10 pips at the most, but it would have been a real good entry to where you don't have to really worry about the break even and stuff. All right, so look, we're about 6 pips or so in now. So about 10 pips right here. I'm gonna start managing it, see how it looks. It looks like we could probably come down to here to this 15 mark, but just because of the fact, like how I'm saying, is I don't think we got the best of entry. If we would have had a stop loss up here, like my entry where I probably wanted it to, it would have been 10 pips at this point right here. This would have been 10 pips. So we pretty much would have already been there. And then this down here would have been almost 20 pips. So I didn't get in that good, but I'm gonna just let it rock. And if it rocks down here to this bottom area, then it's gonna hit 15 pips. And if it hits 15 pips, then that's cool. If not, I go break even. We're gonna let it rock. We're gonna see how it goes. Let me see. I think we're going to push through until New York. Yeah. But the thing is where I'm thinking is we did push up to a certain level and it everything formed. So I do see a pullback happening, but I don't know how far the pullback could be. But yeah, we're just gonna have to see how far we pull back. But like I said, if we pull back into these levels right here, it might be a good thing, so we could push up. But if we end up just going straight up from here, then we still might need to do another pullback or something. But it was this level though. Like I said, I should have probably already been out or been a little bit had a better entry, because that was exactly, this was, man, it's gonna pull back, baby. Dory. But y'all, did you guys see that though? Like right when I found this level, I said this is the level right here. I could just feel it. I could smell it. It was like a lion in the wild. That was the prey right there. Once I found that level and once I seen it all forming, close above, wick above, perfect, boom, that was the move right there. And you seen how like literally to the candle, it was the volume picked up like that. That was crazy right there. I can't even be mad at that. Like I said, I'm just already break even. If I would have had a better entry, I would have probably managed it a little differently. But since I got in right here at these levels, I'm gonna just let it go break even. If it does, it does. Let's see. It looks like we're almost about to hit. Let's see if it hits. And we are bullish though, so I don't see us being an issue of why we could, you know, why we don't. It's pretty much almost there. Because I gave it a little bit of spread room too, so that's why I might not get me out yet. Damn, it's right there at the, is right there like a pip or two. One more pump up and then I'm out. All right, it got me out. Damn. Damn. But that's all good. Like I said, we're break even. The max that we hit was only like 7 pips, 6-7 pips. So that's nothing to really even be real happy about. But the thing is though, like I said, my entry should have been up here. This is where my entry should have been at. It should have been at least up there to where this might have been at least about about 10 pips. But all right, yeah, this did pull back though, so it was a good thing that we got out. So if anything though, where I was wrong, we should have been looking for buys right here at that same level that we were expecting it to tap. That was the level to take the buy at. From there to there, boom, that was it. Damn. Hey man, we cooked it though. We cooked it. We picked the level that we wanted. We stuck to the plan. But the idea was my where I kind of went wrong. I thought it was gonna pull back a little further than that too, just because. But we are super bullish right here. But that's where I was thinking though, is that I mean we could still pull back though. It just, this ended up pushing up. The hourly pushed up. But everything is still forming. Like I said, there's still 30 minutes in this hourly. So at any point, this 30 minutes, it could always turn back around and come back down. But we're just gonna have to wait and see. But now I'm kind of looking at the level right here. This was the level right here. Like you see how it hit our level perfectly, like exactly where I wanted it to. That's why I was gonna go break even at that level, just because I knew this would be an area where we could possibly turn around. But now that I'm looking at this formed perfectly for that to turn around. So what I should have been doing though was I should have found this as our what can I say, is that I should have found this the same way, but instead of trying to take this as the sell trade, I should have used this to give me the direction into this trade right here, because that would have pumped just from there to the top. That would have been a quick 15 pips itself. So, but pretty much what I'm saying though is that, like, that's kind of what I'm trying to do though, is find a target, a point of interest, and then find it into a target and then take the trade from there to go up. I thought it was gonna maybe even come down to this little bit lower and then go up, but it just, but yeah, it's very bullish. So let's see how this happens now. Like now it's closing. Like I said, it just did the same exact thing, close above, come back down into the range now. So we're back inside of that range. Posted my trade I took earlier on Discord. Would have been up 50 pips if I didn't get wicked out of my stop loss. Oh, it's all good, James. That's one more though that you use as data to and then you try to figure out where you could have maybe put your stop loss, had a little bit of a better stop loss, or maybe a better entry. Like, you know, just always ask yourself those questions. Your stream lag around 50 to 20 seconds. Bro, I didn't notice until switching to my 30-second chart. Oh, yeah, I go to the minute chart. That's the lowest I could go, is the minute chart. But I am lagging though, like probably like 30 seconds or so, probably something like that. But yeah, Yeah, like I said, James, just always ask yourself too. Like I said, when you take a trade, and if it's a win or a loss, always ask yourself, why did it win or why did it lose? And then, you know, like how you're saying it hit your stop loss, that's fine. So now that's good. So what you ask yourself now is like, where could I put my stop loss, maybe so it wouldn't have got hit, or where can I have put my entry so it wouldn't have got hit or something like that, you know? So just use that as more data for your next trade and stuff like that. But yeah, this is what I've been doing lately, is just like I kind of got like a little, like obviously too, I'm on a small, I'm using the 1 minute, 5 minute. I need to get on the bigger time frame, but I think, like I said, I found like a little model or so to where it's something that I could repeat over and over. Just like things that I understand what need to happen. If it happens here, does it like this, does it like that? It's just gonna, it's just like I said, it's something I could repeat over and over. So that's what you guys want to try to do though, is focus on creating a playbook, something that you guys could repeat over and over, because that's how you stay disciplined. My plan was to wait for the 30-minute candle closure. I was trailing stop loss and profit before I could adjust it and give it room, but got wicked out. Oh yeah, I feel you. I feel you. But let me find out that this is the drop right here. Let me find out this is the move that goes down like I was expecting. Instead of it being here, it's gonna be this one right here. But yeah, sub to my dog. I appreciate you guys. Appreciate it. Dory, what up? It was accidental adjustment. Thought it set it to break even, but it was placed 7 pips in. Oh, I gotcha. Yeah. See, it'd be like that sometimes, but that's why too. It's always good that you put it in stop loss, in profit, because when the times, let's say the times that you end up being wrong and it doesn't keep going and it goes against you or something, at least you're already in profit. So like I said, those are the type of things you want to do, some things that you could repeat over and over, so that way it's like a system, so that way you don't have to think about it. There's no emotions involved when you have a system. You know, it's like when you go to work every day, you know what has to happen every day. It's the same thing every single day, but it's because that's the system at work. So it's the same thing. And once you create a system with trading, you just do the same thing over and over and over. And you could almost tell when you do something outside of the plan because it wasn't part of the system, in a sense. It's like, you know, it's like when you're at work and you're doing the same thing every single day, and then all of a sudden they throw something new at you, or they give you a different task. It's just like, oh damn, what the hell is this? But that's just because it's not part of the system. But you give you the work that you do every single day, you know what I mean? It's easy to do, smooth. You don't even have to think about it. And that's where I say is like with this trading stuff, it's like once you have a system, it makes it a whole lot easier. So that way you could just focus on making your system work pretty much. You know, you're not putting no emotions and stuff. And that's why right now there's no emotions or nothing that I had with that trade, just because I understood. And like I said, what I usually do is when I get into a trade like this, my stops was right here. My stops was only 3 to 4 pips. So even if I ended up being wrong, what this would have told me, if this would have broken above here instead, it would have told me that it's gonna just push up, and I could have probably just took a buy on that after, once it closed like that, the bottom wick, and then took it going up or something. But that was just kind of what I'm thinking too. But it did finally close, it did wick above there to come down. But I see this being the range right here though, so this is kind of the range right here. But this was that first low that we were talking about. Oh, there it goes. Look, close above. I'm wondering if we could look for a buy right here. Like if we could look for a buy. There's a candle right there. There's a candle right there. Let's see. Let's see right here. There's a resistance here. There's a resistance here. Or is a support right here? Oh. Oh, damn. Those are the next ranges all the way up there. Oh, wait. Nope. Man, that thing flipped real quick. Damn, that thing was a fake out. Oh. Look at that. It just wicked right up. Oh, okay. So look. This ended up being the top wick that we might have needed to break. So I'm wondering if that was the top wick that we just created. Now we need to come down back to the bottom of the range down here. So if that's the case, we just grab this top wick. This is the range right here. We're going to see what happens if we close above the range. Oh, we break above it. Let's see. Let's see how this closes. That was a wick above. Let's see. It actually closed above, so it will say higher prices. So that is the top, though. Oh. That thing is pushing. Push. I'm still up 150 though. James, getting money. Let's go. We're getting money. Hey, I appreciate you guys for watching though. I appreciate it. If you guys wouldn't mind hitting that like button. We got 21 watching right now. 21 watching. That's love right there. I appreciate it. And we got only 10 likes, y'all. We only got 10 likes. Hey, can we get 20 likes? And I'll look for another trade at 20 likes. 20 likes, I'll look for another trade. That's how I'm going to bribe you guys. If you guys want me to take another trade, just hit that like button, get it to 20 likes. Let's go. We got 21 people watching. That's crazy. That's love right there though. We got 19 people watching, 13 likes. Let's go. If you guys are some bots, let me know. Oh, there it goes. Look at, here we go. Okay, are we coming back into the range to close back below? If we close below, lower prices. Uh-oh. Wow. Like I said, don't tell me this was the move that I was expecting. Damn. Let me see. Let me see how this closes. Actually, it still hasn't closed yet. This hourly still hasn't closed yet. So this, at any point, this hourly could just go back. Let's go. Let's see how many likes we got. We got 14 likes, y'all. I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys for watching, though. I appreciate it. All right. Here we got 20 people watching, y'all. I appreciate you guys. Appreciate it. All right, so yeah, like the hourly, we still got 25 minutes on the hourly. Here, let me get back to this. Okay, so that was there. That's the close above. Let's see, hold on, 15. So that should be the close above. Wick above. Damn, it's just doing that straight up. It must be something right here. Wick below higher prices. Wick below higher prices. Higher prices. That went right there. Let's see. Boom. So it's going to be anything that's above this candle right here. So it's going to be this guy, which is also going to be that. Damn, this thing is moving. Hey, we got 14 likes though. I appreciate you guys for watching. If you guys haven't hit that like and subscribe, hit that like and subscribe. I would appreciate it. Damn, this thing is, look at it, it's going up still. Damn. I wonder if that was a break above. That was a good break above finally. This right here. Boom, that was your signal. Damn. That was the signal, y'all. That was the signal. So we're retesting the high to continue up. Yeah, close above 43 on the higher time frame and then pull backs. Is Toby like it up 50? My guy didn't you see an extra 5? Ha, yo, Toby, what up, bro? Appreciate it. I just seen you guys. Damn, look at that. Oh my goodness. FOMO, FOMO, FOMO. There it is. Yeah. That's what I should have. Oops. Damn, that thing is moving. Clean range to the upside down. It does got a clean range though. Look at that. Seems like the monthly wants to finally break the previous highs. Anyone want to swing up there? The only thing is, Toby, is that when we were looking at the monthly earlier, we had this kind of, not saying it can't, but this becoming the range of the candle. When this candle wicked above and then it closed back inside of the range of this candle, this became the range that we're in. So not saying it can't go up, but if it does go up, it could always turn back around. This still got 8 more days, so we're going to see how it closes up, but I'm just kind of wondering, can this still flip bearish and then target the lows of the range, which would be the bottom of this candle right here? And if it targets those lows, then obviously we, that, but that's just my idea. But like I said, in order to come down here, we might need to go up. So there's always a chance that we come up to this level and then we come back down. Like we come up here, retest it, and then come down. So the buys are still definitely valid. But the one thing I'm worried about is that if it does come up here, is that they turn around or it turns around before it goes up. Next candle wick above, then pop down. Next candle wick above, pop down, which will break the highs. It will go like that, and then the next ones will come down to this range down here, and this will be the high. Yeah, I could see that happening. Gold is like gravity. What goes up just comes down and vice versa. Yep, that's true. That's true. Yo, interesting thought you got there. I will also just see what will happen and adapt to the market, but at the end of this month it can get interesting because we got some news at the end. Yeah, no, that's true, bro. Yeah. But we are super bullish though. Like if you kind of think about it, we're breaking above all of this. We are bullish, but the one thing also that I'm reminding myself of is every candle is getting smaller and smaller. It's getting smaller and smaller. So the next one could maybe be a doji and then pick a direction. So the close above, it's going to need to go to the previous high, which would be right here. Wick above. Weekly, daily, 4 bullish. I see a potential retest of 23.47 before reversing to the lows. No, that's true. Oh, look at that top wick. Oh, big old top wick. Hey Ryan, it could still flip. It could always flip. And then it could still create that because this 4 hour still got 3 hours. So at any point, it could still always close back inside that range. Previous hour candle has no wick. Potential reversal to drive down towards 23.30. You said hour? Yeah. But even no 4 hour. Or you know what? I think I kind of see what's kind of going on. It's gonna need to be this next hourly candle that closes above here, closes above, and then it's gonna need a wick above, and then that might come down. But I still see it going up. It might need to go up all the way to these levels up here. So it's really going to be in the next 15 minutes. It's going to be this candle that closes. If it closes above this white dotted line, then that's the one that I think it's either going to need to break the higher low. So it's going to probably come up down like that. Hold on, give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Close above, wick above. Alright, I think that could be it. I think that could be it. This could probably be it. For now, we're on a bullish bias, yeah. Best option for sales probably around 59.60 areas. That was a big range. Yeah, yeah. That sale was kind of risky. I shouldn't have did the sale. I should have been looking for buys. I kind of fucked that one up. I blame myself. Got a little antsy, but I mean, I still was right about the idea of it moving. But like I said, it's just I wasn't right that it's gonna continue down. Maybe it needed to do this before that, but look at the thing is moving down now. I think that might have been it. To be honest, I think I could kind of see it. It kind of forming now. I see it forming. And there it goes right there. Probably that would be the one that closes inside. The next range would be down here. Damn, was that the one to go all the way up here? Was that the area that we wanted? Yeah, look, perfect. Boom, boom. Perfect, boom. Yo, Raj, what up, bro? Yeah. we was cooking earlier, but yeah, we're just trying to figure this out right now. Damn, I wonder if this is the move though, but damn, that was already 30 pips. Yeah, that's the one you want. It's gonna come down. Down. Yeah, Raj, I'm from California. The sunny state. So do you trade spot gold or future gold? I trade Apex, and then I also have a personal account on Henko Trade. So I trade just gold, regular gold, USD. Like there's no spot. It's not no spot or FOB. It's just but. So like the one I'm looking at right here on the chart. This is all on a Wanda, but this is the same one I'm trading, pretty much. It's the same price. Damn, is this the move though? Is this the move down? Damn. DM me, and I'll tell you what broker I use. I don't really like I said, I'm not trying to give no free promo to brokers, and I don't even really like the broker that I'm using. I just use it because it works, but I don't do no trading on it. It's just literally just so I can buy and sell it, and I have to do all the trading on TradingView and stuff. So It's not the best of one, but it's just because it's a personal account. So there's not many that I could use that I know of that could use personal. Yeah, yeah, I don't even really recommend them, to be honest. Oh, there it goes. I see it. I see it. Hey, Kilkenny, if you're still in the chat, look, I just went to the 8-hour. So I was wondering why I didn't see nothing on the 4-hour that was kind of indicating this push. And then I go to the 8-hour, and then that's when I see this right here perfectly right here. This ends up becoming the range. We closed above it, and now I think that'll be the one that does come back down into this range right here. So we will probably at some point, I think, maybe come down here. I don't know for sure. Nothing's for sure, but that would kind of be the target area. What up? Yeah, like I was saying, is that this was the like on the 4-hour, I don't really see nothing. And then, or actually, I mean, you could even say right here, the 4-hour, it does show it right here. Same thing. Boom, boom. Same thing. Yep. So that was matching up. The 8-hour was matching up. But like I said, the 8-hour was right here. So look. Boom, 8-hour. So when I go to the 8-hour, I'm gonna go to the 2-hour. It's gonna be the previous high to that. Previous high to that, which would be right here. But it closed. Did it close? It closed way above. So it closed above. So it'll be this one right here. Boom. It'll be this high right here. This high. So now fours of those will be that right there. Boom. There it is. Boom. That's the, I believe that's the sell. That's the sell. All right. So let's see. Is the hourly about to flip? The hourly is about to, well, we got 5 minutes left, so maybe that's a good thing. We'll see how this hourly closes. If this hourly closes inside of this range right here, underneath that range, then it's gonna explain something totally different. We're gonna probably start targeting something down here or something like that. But if it closes above, then that is signaling that we have this whole range right here close above the previous candle, so we might need to target higher prices. So at some point we're probably going to need to come up here and start targeting these higher prices and probably fill in this whole wick right here. So if we need to fill in this whole wick, there's a big wick right here for us to grab a nice little buy or something. Yo, GBP, what up? But yeah, look at now we're closing below it now. Well, we're not closing yet, but we're getting underneath it. So then that explains why this trade was the correct trade. So that's why I'm saying is that was the correct trade right there. I think, Ryan, the fact that this does end up closing, respecting it like that, I do think this was the right trade. Because like I said, look, this was the same idea. This is the same way I found the trade, guys. Look, I'm gonna show you guys This is sauce 101, man. I'm gonna give you guys the sauce right here. It still could flip. It might not flip, but this was the idea of this is how I find the target and understand. So look, hopefully James is still in here. If James is still in here, I know he'll want to listen to this. All right, so look. Understanding lower high, all this stuff, right? Boom. Same thing right here, lower high. So when we were in this area right here, this ended up becoming the range right here. This was the range. We are pushing up. All right, so yeah, look. You see this candle right here? This becomes the range, the top and the bottom of the wick. Then you can see this candle right here. It wicked below, and then it came back and closed inside of the range of this candle. So you can see how it wicked below. It wicked below that candle right here. Boom, wick below, close back inside the range, close back inside the range. So what that usually means, when we target the bottom, we need to target the top. So after we target the top, what happens, the next step after this is what I've kind of figured out, is when this closes, this candle right here, this line right here, which is the top of this candle, this is the range right here. So that means once you close above this range, then that means this whole little idea is pretty much completed. So what usually happens is when it completes at these ranges in this area, it usually does a pullback before it continues, or it pulls back all the way, and it does. So it's like, it's how I'm able to find like my areas of target and stuff. So what I'm pretty much saying is, look, once this one closes like that, it wick below, close inside this range, this becomes the range. You start targeting the top of the range. Once you close above where this candle ends up closing at, you're gonna target the previous high. So look at, let me zoom into the front of this. The top of this candle right there is that right there. So if you see, none of these are highs of that, right? The only high is right here at this candle right here. At this candle, because this candle wicked a little bit above there, and that's all you need. It's just a previous high to this area right here. So like I said, look, if that's the previous high, so like I said, this is the steps. The closure, damn, of course it changes right there. 1 second, let me put this music right on. All right, so my bad. All right, so look, the steps: range, wick below, close back inside the range, then we target the top of the range or the bottom of it, just vice versa, same thing. Then we have a closure above the range, and then wherever this candle closes, it's the previous high to that is what we're targeting. That's the previous high right here. So I'm gonna move this candle line up to that level right there, right? And then that's when I target these levels right here, which is, I go down to the let's say the 2 hour, or let's say the 15 minute, boom, or even down to the 5 minute, or let's say the hourly, the 30. I actually like that. Yeah, I like that right there. That's perfect. The 30 minute. So you see how the 30 minute closes like that? It closed above that line. That line is that previous high that we were talking about. So this ended up becoming the previous high. So when we close above the previous high, then that candle gets broken, and then that's usually the move to continue down. And then this is the whole range right here, because this is the high, and then the low is down here, because this is the whole range right here. So if that's the range, if we closed above it, then we need to target the bottom of this range. So when you get in on the right area, it just does that. It just keeps doing that. And then look at, like I said, this was the same candle like I was talking about earlier, just a little bit differently. Look, this is the candle range right here. This is the high, this is the low. We wicked above, and then we closed back inside of this candle, which is, we closed all the way down here. So we closed back inside of this candle right here range. So what most likely need to happen is this could be a pullback, and this might need to target the lows right here at least. But if it breaks this low, then that's when it's most likely going to need to clean this whole range right here all the way back down to this level. Or there also is the resistance at the top of that. So I think those will be the two levels you're probably going to watch out for if we start coming down. But like I said, we are bullish, so all of these moves down are not going to be that strong. Whereas in, like I said, look, any kind of pullback is kind of weak, but every kind of push is strong. Weak, strong, weak. So like I said, this pullback could just be, so maybe like I was telling myself earlier, is if this is a pullback, let's find a target. And if this is the target down here, then we should probably be looking for buys to maybe go back up again. Because if the buys are where they're at, is where it's at, then we need to make sure we're in buys and not sells. Because the sells could be, look at this sell right here, turns around quick. Sells over here, turn around quick. So you'd rather be in these buys, and then you could just hold. We pop it down. But then again, like I said though, this is all part of the plan, which was, like I was telling you, is that, look, close above this range, then you go to the previous high, which is right here, boom, and then you target that high, and then you start to come back down. And if this whole candle is the range right here, look at how far of a range we got to come back down, and we caught the top, possibly, if this is the top. But like I said, this is not just guessing and I'm like, okay, let me see if this works. I've back tested these ideas, and this will be more proof, or this would be more data to go back and tell myself, like, hey, this is what happened, boom boom, this is what you could have did differently. But like I said, these are all things that I have planned out, so that's why I say it's important to have a playbook and a plan, so that way when you follow the plan, you know where you went wrong, and you could tell what went wrong. Because like I said, it's just like, I'm not doing no thinking, it's just steps. And that's what I'm saying, it's like 5-6 steps, but it's like I said, I figured all these little steps out. It goes from one into the other. So when this one closes like that, when this range closes like that above here, and it does all that, this is one range into the next range, and then this range is going to go back into this range. And the objective though is to find these ones. Is that I'm trying to crack these ones where I've had trades at these levels, but I end up closing out like somewhere right here or something. I never hold for this full TP type stuff. I've had buys over here earlier today, buys right here, close out right here. So it's like, I'm getting in at the right area, but I need to understand which one am I in. That way I can make sure I'm in this one that actually rides all the way, But the way to find this one is pretty much doing the same exact thing, finding the candle range. Because if you kind of look, this is like the range right here. How do we delete this? This is the range right here. Boom. Boom. This is the whole range. So if this is the range right here, our objective earlier when we took the buys down here was pretty much the same thing. From the top to the bottom, now we need to most likely go back to the top, and we did. But this one, we actually pushed through it a little bit. So that's the next thing that we're trying to figure out, is getting into this. Well, we were able to find this trade now. The next step is finding a target, being able to know this is the trade that's going to go up to here, if not up to here or something. So that way we could possibly hold, you know, TP1, TP2, possibly maybe even a TP3 or something. But just understanding that this is the full TP, you know, I don't want to get out right here and then I miss all of this. So that's kind of the objective, is to try to get into those trades that and holding them all the way to full TP. But it looks like we are starting to kind of push up a little bit. But yeah, like I said, this is all just data though. This is a good thing for me because, like I said, is that this is on the 8 hour. So I need to see what happens on the possibly the 2 hour. So it still might need time, where this one might need to close like that, and then this next one will break the high and then come back into it like that. Or it could just continue. We're going to find out. But I think around these levels is when we're going to start seeing some motion. Things start to play out. But if this is the correct area, it could be. We'll see right now. It did that, broke below, boom. Oh yeah, I think it's gonna come down from here, right here. Oh, fuck. Oh look, you know what? Look at. I'm wondering if this could be a level that it comes back to. If it comes back to this level, we could maybe look for sales, or maybe this might have been it right here. Boom. Where was the order block? The order block would have been right here. This would have been the order block. Boom. Yeah, that would have been it right there. That would have been this right here. Boom. That would have been the sell from right here. Right at that level. 42.9. That was 7, 8 pips. That's not much. But this is kind of what I want to see. I want to see something maybe up here, because if this ends up doing what I like, pretty much doing what it did right here, but doing it at these levels, I think this might be a better opportunity right here. Because I think if it doesn't go down now, it might need to do that. There's a reason why it's not just pushing down, but I mean, it still can. But we're going to see right now that it might come back up here, make you think it's a breakout to go back up, and then come back down. Dropping hella knowledge, bro. Taking notes. Hey, for sure, James. For sure. I appreciate you for watching, though. I appreciate it. Like I said, that's why it's important to be watching the chart, though, because when you find something that's part of your plan, you need to be ready to push that buy or sell button. Yeah, this thing is moving down now. And how I found, well, like how I would have gotten this as an entry is I used this candle right here. I just had like an order block right there, put an order block line, and that dotted line is just a 50% mark of that candle right here, this green candle. That's exactly where it got rejected at. I was thinking maybe up here, but maybe, who knows, we're gonna see right now. But like I said, this is why it's important to have a plan, because if you have a plan, you know what needs to happen. If it doesn't go towards your plan, then you're like, okay, it's not your trade. Even though, like I said, I think I found this to be how this could have been like an entry. How we would have gotten the entry would have been using this candle and the highs of that. It's pretty valid, so it's kind of showing, okay, so this idea was corrected, so it might not need to come up here like I'm expecting. Okay, we're coming down. Hold on, let me see. Said right. Let's see. All right, yeah. Oh yeah, look at this thing right here. This is on the hourly. It did close back inside of this candle. So at some point, we might need to come back in this range right here, break these lows at least, if we want to come back up. Let's see, 4 hour. Let's see. Hold on, let me check some. Let me try to find it. Let me try to find it. Alright, what we were talking about was this guy. So it was here. So if that is the range, then let's see. Let's see the daily. So the range would be, what range are we in? Oh yeah, so like this is what I'm trying to find out. I'm trying to find this range right here. That's what I was trying to do, find the range. Okay, so if this is the range area, that's the top. That's the top area. So the bottom could be like right here. So if that's the case, then that means this could be the bottom, this could be the top. It could be 15 or yeah, so wait until Yeah, that is Kill Kenny. That is, like I said, if you got it, if it is the right entry, it's a very good entry. Okay, look, it hit that line. Was that the line we were talking about? Oh no, not yet. It needed to hit this line up here. See, look at this was the same thing right here. Look, the same idea. Boom. We should have taken these buys right here from the bottom of here. Why did we take those buys? FOMO, FOMO, FOMO. That's crazy. Yeah, kind of. I would probably go break even, maybe, just because of the reason that, like, Ryan, the trade that we were looking at, I think the one that you were showing me from Day, how he had the trades on like the retest area, which was these kind of like fair value gaps. So I'm wondering if this could possibly be one of those types of trades where we come up to here and then we come back down, because that's kind of what this box is from. This box is from this area right here, and that would be exactly around the same retest area. I mean, there is all this area right here. All right, let's see. Is this it? Uh-oh. I think this might be it. This might be it right here. Yeah, this might have been it. Let's see. Ooh. Oh man, this was the area. It has all this range right here to come down. Let's see. Yeah, and if you guys haven't subscribed to this channel yet, make sure you guys go subscribe to this channel, Donvo Clips. Got a lot of good videos on there. Oh, we just hit 1.8 subscribers. And we're going crazy over there. So make sure you guys go follow, subscribe, and turn the notifications on. A lot of good videos. Yeah, this thing is moving. There it goes. Let's see. Alright, look, it's starting to hit this level, but it did break above. I don't like that. Yeah, and it closed above. Yeah, so that's actually probably gonna come back up. Damn, look at that. Oh, there it is. There it goes. Oh, we're gonna close back inside the range. But yeah, just damn, this thing is moving, bruh. I appreciate you guys for watching, though. Appreciate it. How high can we go? Right here, maybe. Alright guys, I'm gonna hop off right now because I'm gonna try to wake up for New York also. I'm gonna wake up for New York and we're gonna try to get a New York session in. So make sure you guys join up for New York. I appreciate you guys for watching though. Make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe. And yeah, like I said, we're gonna try to get on for New York tomorrow in the morning. So make sure you guys tune in tomorrow. I appreciate it for watching though. I'll see you guys tomorrow though. Peace.